So yeah, I'm David Cox, and I'm reviewing the Supair Step that I was lucky enough to take to Valle de Bravo with me this year. I've never reviewed a glider, never really demoed a glider, so this is my first opportunity to do so. I flew this thing about 120 kilograms in the top third of the weight range. I'm a pilot with about 560 flights, almost 200 hours. I've flown 40 different sites and a handful, dozen maybe, different gliders. I'm fairly current. This year's clearly the most flying I've done, so I think this is a good glider for where I'm at. It's a split A3 riser glider. It comes up quite nicely. I'd actually never even taken this out of the bag before I flew it. And I found it very easy to launch. This was a new site for me. I'd flown my current glider on day one, but ended up flying the Step from day 2 through day 6, and I really had no problems with it. It took me a little while to get comfortable with it, and that's just a get to know you period. But I found the glider to be very well mannered. It climbs quite nicely. It's a good climber, maybe not quite as good as my Mentor 4. Here's a little organic collapse that I took. I found this glider to be more stable than my Mentor 4, I believe. I think maybe I felt a little heavier on it than the Mentor. It glides nicely. I felt like I was on par with other gliders in the air as far as glide. I did some light SIV, which I like to do on a new glider, just some 50% asymmetrics, and those felt very benign. You can see they're full 50%ers that popped out right away and didn't really fall into it, but didn't really weight shift away from it either. And very well mannered glider, I felt. And this is another thing that I like to do on a new glider. I like to ride out in 50% asymmetric and maintain heading, just to prove to myself that I can do something. This glider was very easy to maintain heading on with a big collapse. So overall, I didn't do any frontals. I sort of just left it at that. I felt it was a very tame, well-mannered glider. And here's just some slow-mos. That looks pretty benign. Again, very stable. It's not trying to go into a spin. I don't have a whole lot of brake on. I don't want to stall the thing. And it's mostly weight shift, and it's maintaining a nice course. So yeah, it was confidence inspiring, I would say. And there's just some sort of small to moderate wing overs here and there. I felt that this wing built energy nice and evenly. It wasn't one of those gliders that all of a sudden, you're like, whoa, I've got a whole lot of energy here on this next wing over. It sort of built it very linearly, and I felt it was very controllable and to a tight turn or maybe a little spiral. Yeah, the transition from wing overs into spirals is seamless, and I thought it was just overall very nice, well-mannered glider with good performance. Some token landings, and it flares nicely and handles nicely. I would just say it's a great sort of all-around glider. So yeah, I mean, I've flown pretty extensively on a UP Summit XC3 and a Mentor 4. Those are the gliders I have the most experience with, and I would say this sort of sits in between the two. I feel like the UP Summit XC3 is it's a very solid, cohesive glider. It's fast on bar, and I've taken a whopper or two collapse on it. So when it does go, I think it tends to go a little bit bigger when it collapses. But I love that wing for what it is. However, it's not the best climber around. You really have to be quite efficient on it in my weight range or whatnot. And I've got quite a bit of experience on a Mentor 4 as well. One thing I really like about that Mentor is it's a top of the stack glider for me. It climbs really well, but I feel like I'm lighter on it, even though I'm in the upper third of the weight range on both those gliders. But I just feel lighter on it. It takes little wingtip folds here and there, and it's also a fast glider on bar and at trim. And I sort of have a love-hate relationship with that glider. I crashed on it last year, and but there are certain things I really enjoy about it. So I would put the Step sort of in between the two. I would say the Step is a very good all-around high B glider. I don't think it's quite as fast, or maybe it is as fast, but it feels a little more dampened. But my instinct here is that probably both the Summit and the Mentor are a little bit faster than the Step. But the Step is, I think, an excellent all-around glider. It climbs well. It glides well. It handles well. It builds energy in a nice, linear, controllable fashion. I think it recovers from collapses quite nicely, very benign, launches easily, and I like the glider. I think it's, I've got experience with another Supair product, another one of their gliders, and I love that one, and I think this is a very good glider as well.